They removed it from every school textbook, buried it in every pharmacy aisle, erased it from 3 generations of common knowledge, and yet for over 2,000 years, entire civilizations built their daily cleaning around this single plant. It produces real soap, not a substitute, not an alternative, real foaming lather that cleans better than the chemicals you're paying $15 a bottle for right now. It self-seeds forever, it spreads on its own, and it costs nothing after the first planting. Walk into any museum conservation lab today, the Metropolitan, the National Trust in Britain, and watch what the textile specialists are using on irreplaceable artifacts, silk gowns older than this country, wool tapestries that survived medieval plagues. They are not using Tide, they are not using Gain, they are using something far older, far gentler, and far more effective than anything in your laundry room. That something is Soapwort, Saponaria officinalis. The name comes from the Latin word sapo, meaning soap. The Romans named it after what it does. They grew it around their bathhouses 2,000 years before anyone invented detergent pods. They knew what they had. And then, within a single generation, it vanished from common knowledge. How does a plant that served entire civilizations just disappear? Most people watching this will never hear about it from their doctor. They'll never see it on a store shelf. They'll never find it in a cleaning aisle. That's not an accident. It's economics. In 1946, Procter & Gamble launched Tide in Cincinnati, Ohio, the first heavy-duty synthetic detergent. Before Tide, people used soap flakes. In hard water, those flakes left scum. Whites turned grey, colors faded. Heavy soil wouldn't wash out. Tide fixed that. The marketing worked. The product worked in hard water. An industry was born. By 1953, detergent sales overtook soap sales for the first time in human history. Thousands of years of botanical knowledge, replaced by petroleum-derived chemistry in 7 years. 7 years. Stay with me, because the reason they buried this plant has nothing to do with how well it works, and everything to do with how much money it doesn't make. Today, the global laundry detergent market is worth $84 billion. That's billion with a B, for a product that a single plant in your backyard can produce for free. Soapwort cannot be patented. You cannot license the pressing of a root. A plant that self-seeds cannot generate repeat seed sales. A crop that needs no fertilizer or pesticide inputs requires no input suppliers. Every spring, last year's dropped seeds germinate on their own. The patch expands without anyone planting it. Consumer costs disappear. No corporation benefits from this transaction. What cannot be owned cannot be sold. What cannot be sold cannot be marketed. What cannot be marketed does not enter public consciousness. The system didn't suppress Soapwort. It simply ignored what was free and promoted what was profitable. No corporation deliberately destroyed this plant. The mechanism was simpler than that. Neglect. A plant that generates no repeat revenue, generates no marketing budget. 3 generations grew up seeing television commercials for Tide and Gain and all. Nobody aired commercials for the plant growing free along the highway. But your ancestors knew. The historical record stretches across continents and centuries. In medieval Europe, Soapwort was the standard cleaning agent. Households across England, France, and Germany relied on this single plant for washing everything: wool tunics, silk tapestries, wooden dishes, pewter cups. Fullers, the textile workers who cleaned and thickened newly woven cloth, built their entire trade around this plant. It earned dozens of folk names across different regions: bouncing bet, crow soap, lather wort, fuller's herb, bruise wort. Each name tells you something about how people used it. When colonists crossed the Atlantic to North America, they did not leave this plant behind. They carried it with them on ships crossing 3,000 miles of ocean. That tells you everything about how valuable it was to daily life. A plant worth saving space on a wooden ship that had room for almost nothing. Perhaps the most remarkable historical claim involves the Shroud of Turin. Researchers believe soapwort extract was used as a gentle cleanser on this ancient relic. When you need to clean something, that millions of people consider sacred, you reach for the gentlest, most proven cleaning agent in human history. You reach for Soapwort. Modern science has not forgotten. Researchers continue studying this plant, and what they have found validates everything your ancestors knew instinctively. A 2019 study examined the chemical and physical properties of soapwort extract and its foaming behavior. The results were extraordinary. 100% of the extract forms foam. 85% of that foam remains stable after 1 full hour. No synthetic detergent marketing department could print numbers that impressive. The chemistry explains why. Over 40 different saponins have been isolated from soapwort so far. More recent analysis suggests the extract contains a complex mixture of an estimated 72 distinct saponin compounds. These are not simple chemicals. This is sophisticated botanical engineering, refined over millions of years of evolution. So, a 2021 study published in the International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health compared soapwort directly against the synthetic surfactants found in commercial products: sodium lauryl sulfate, sodium laureth sulfate, ammonium lauryl sulfate, cocamidopropyl betaine. These are the chemicals in your shampoo, in your body wash, and in your laundry detergent. The results were, well, pretty striking. Soapwort demonstrated protein and lipid solubilizing potential much lower than all 3 anionic surfactants. In plain language, soapwort cleans effectively while being dramatically gentler on skin and fabrics than the chemicals you currently pay for. This is the part they don't want you to reach. Because if you understand this comparison, you'll never look at a detergent aisle the same way again. Antibacterial research adds another layer. A 2024 study demonstrated antibacterial activity of soapwort root extracts against multiple bacterial strains, including E. coli, Staphylococcus aureus, Enterococcus ficalis, and Salmonella enteritidis. Your laundry detergent kills bacteria. So does soapwort. The difference is that soapwort does it without the synthetic chemical load, without the hormone disruptors, the artificial fragrances, the preservatives that accumulate in your body over decades. Scientists have also documented that saponin-containing plants provide benefits as treatment for skin lesions caused by fungi. The cleaning action and the medicinal action come from the same compounds. 2,000 years of folk medicine turns out to be 2,000 years of accurate observation. And here is what should concern every person watching this right now. Research estimates that laundry contributes approximately 35% of primary microplastic pollution in the oceans. Your washing machine is one of the largest sources of plastic contamination in the marine environment. Studies show that laundry washed with detergent produces on average 86% more microfibers than laundry washed with pure water. Detergent works by loosening fabric fibers. A single wash load can release several million microfibers into the water supply. Synthetic formulations often contain phosphates that disrupt nutrient balance in water bodies, leading to algal blooms and dead zones. They include formaldehyde-based preservatives, chlorine bleach compounds, quaternary ammonium compounds. These chemicals flow from your washing machine through treatment plants and into rivers and oceans. Soapwort contains none of these compounds. It biodegrades completely. It has been biodegrading in streams and soil for millions of years. The environmental impact is essentially zero. This is where it gets practical. This is where you stop watching and start growing. Soapwort has an aggressive survival strategy that should interest anyone thinking about long-term self-sufficiency. Its root system produces abundant orange rhizomes, underground stems that spread horizontally through the soil, sending up new plants as they go. One plant becomes a colony without any human intervention. The plant also self-seeds. It flowers from late spring through fall, producing clusters of pale pink or white blooms. Each flower produces seeds. Those seeds drop to the ground and germinate the following spring. The combination of rhizome spreading and self-seeding means that soapwort often forms dense colonies that persist indefinitely. Illinois wildflower surveys document that this species has naturalized throughout much of North America. It often grows as a horticultural escape from old garden plantings. It establishes along roadsides. It colonizes stream banks. It thrives in disturbed soil. The plant that colonists carried across the Atlantic 300 years ago now grows wild across the continent. Garden guides sometimes warn that soapwort can become invasive. This is a matter of perspective. What agricultural authorities call problematic, your descendants might call permanent infrastructure. Invasive means the plant spreads without permission. For someone building food and utility sovereignty, that is a feature, not a bug. Here is your growing protocol. Soapwort thrives in USDA hardiness zones 3 through 9. That covers most of the continental United States and, similar climates in Europe and Asia. The plant tolerates full sun or partial shade, and it accepts moist to slightly dry conditions. Honestly, it isn't fussy about soil. Loamy, gravelly, sandy, it really doesn't matter. Soapwort tolerates poor conditions that would kill more demanding plants. Once established, it requires almost no care at all. It overwinters easily, with just a layer of mulch in cooler regions. There are few problems with insects and disease. The plant essentially takes care of itself while providing a continuous supply of natural cleaning agent. Starting options. You can start from seeds. Just plant them directly in soil after the last frost date. A packet of seeds costs only a few dollars. Alternatively, you can propagate by splitting the rootstock of an existing plant. A single division from a friend's garden costs nothing. You can often find established plants at herb nurseries or through seed exchanges as well. For the bucket method, fill a 5-gallon bucket with well-draining soil. Plant 3 to 5 seeds about a 1/4 inch deep. Water consistently until seedlings emerge, typically 10 to 14 days. Then thin to the strongest 2 plants. Place the bucket in partial to full sun. Within 8 weeks, you'll have harvestable growth. Within 2 years, those 2 plants will have filled the bucket with rhizomes and dropped enough seeds to start new buckets. Seedlings grow quickly with consistent watering and well-drained soil. Mature plants reach about 2 to 3 feet tall. The pale pink flowers, you'll notice, attract pollinators throughout the blooming season. So you get both aesthetic value and practical utility from the same planting. Gardeners report that soapwort is almost impossible to remove completely once established. The rhizomes persist even when the above-ground growth is cut back. New shoots emerge from root fragments left in the soil. This persistence is exactly what makes it valuable as long-term infrastructure. Using soapwort for cleaning is honestly really straightforward. The roots contain the highest saponin concentration, but any part of the plant works. Leaves, stems and flowers all have those soap-producing compounds. So let's talk methods. Method 1. The simple decoction takes about 30 minutes. Take roughly 12 leafy stems and add them to a pint of water. Boil for 30 minutes, let it cool, then strain out the plant material. What you're left with is a liquid soap, ready for use. The solution produces a genuine lather. It dissolves fats and grease. It cleans, very effectively. Method 2, the quick swish, needs no boiling at all. For light cleaning tasks, just bruise some fresh leaves and swish them in warm water. The saponins release as soon as they touch water and get agitated a bit. Your ancestors discovered this thousands of years ago through simple trial and error. No energy cost, no equipment, just leaves and water. Method 3, dried root powder, is perfect for year-round storage. Harvest roots in the fall, dry them thoroughly, and grind into a powder. Reconstitute with hot water whenever you need it. This gives you access to your soap supply all year, even in places where the plant dies back in winter. Just store the powder in airtight jars. It keeps, pretty much indefinitely. Now for applications. Museum professionals specifically recommend soapwort for real wool, old silk, antique quilts, lace and embroidery. Basically, any textile too valuable to risk with harsh commercial products. You can use it to clean hair and hands. You can use it as a gentle wash for delicate fabrics. You can use it for dishes, for countertops, for anything you'd currently reach for a bottle of chemical cleaner to handle. Stay with me, because honestly, the math on this is what changes everything. Think about what this means for a typical family. The average American household spends between $150 and $200 a year on laundry detergent alone. Add dish soap, hand soap, all-purpose cleaners, and well, that number climbs much higher. Over a 20-year period, a family might spend $4,000 or more on cleaning products. Over a lifetime, that figure could reach $15,000. All of it goes to corporations. All of it flows out of your household economy forever. Now, just picture a different scenario. A small patch of Soapwort established in a corner of your yard, maybe 10 square feet of space. The initial cost might be $5 for a seed packet, or nothing at all if a neighbor shares a root division. Within 2 years, the patch has spread to 20 square feet. Within 5 years, you have more Soapwort than you could ever use. You harvest what you need. You share divisions with friends and family. You never buy laundry detergent again. Your children grow up knowing how to make soap from a plant. They teach their children. The knowledge passes forward through generations, alongside the physical plants themselves. A single decision you make today could eliminate cleaning product expenses for your family line for the next century. This is what self-sufficiency actually looks like. Not dramatic survivalism, not expensive equipment, not complicated systems. Just a plant that makes soap, growing quietly in your garden, spreading a little more each year, waiting to be harvested whenever you need it. The detergent companies will not tell you about this plant. Their business model depends on repeat purchases. Their shareholders expect quarterly growth. Their supply chains profit from your dependence on products manufactured in factories and shipped across continents. But Soapwort does not care about marketing budgets. It does not care about quarterly earnings. It does not care about supply chain logistics or retail margins or shareholder value. It cares about reproduction. It cares about spreading through rhizomes and scattered seeds. It cares about establishing itself wherever soil and sunlight and water permit. For 2,000 documented years, and honestly likely far longer, Soapwort has pursued that single biological agenda. It survived the fall of Rome. It survived medieval plagues. It survived industrial revolutions. It survived world wars. It survived the rise of synthetic chemistry. It will continue for another 2,000 years, longer than any corporation, longer than any brand name, longer than any patent or trademark or marketing campaign. And now you know that the highest saponin plant grows wild across your continent. You know that it self-seeds forever. You know that museum conservators trust it with priceless artifacts. You know that peer-reviewed research validates its effectiveness and gentleness. You know that one planting creates permanent cleaning infrastructure for generations. The seeds are available. The knowledge is yours. The choice is yours. If this changed how you think about your laundry room, hit that subscribe button and share this video with someone who still thinks detergent is their only option. Drop a comment below and tell me, what's the one cleaning product you'd replace first if you had a plant that made soap for free? I read every single one. The information in this video is for educational purposes only and is not intended as medical or professional advice. Always research thoroughly and consult appropriate experts before using any plant for health or cleaning applications.